Hey there, folks. Let's do some retro CSS battles. These are from 2024, June 17th, and that's the 18th, and that is the 19th of June 2024. Lots of shapes here, huh? Big amount of shapes. I think the nested template is a starting point, and I think we've got a border inline, 20 pixels solid blue is a piece of it. Let's remove this background and use margins to put this into place for 5, 51, 52, and then 4, 3, 25, 26, 27. Right, so that's part of it. I kind of think we need another element too. And so I'm going to add a paragraph tag here, and I hope I'm not going to regret it. I do P, also nested. I'm going to do background red, just so I can see it, and then height 100. Okay, so now we can see that. Oh, and we see that that's adding the border. So that's interesting. I think what that means is we need to do a border inline of this lighter color. And that's just like 10 pixels. Weird. Then what? I think we need to do margin 0. So there's a lot of moving parts here. 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a little taller. 8, 7, 8. Okay. So that's a lot of it. And so we've already got border on that. What it has me thinking is that this is also got some variables. The circle is a radial gradient, and I'm putting it into a variable because I'm going to use it twice. Radial gradient, circle, this color, the light color, 20 pixels, maybe 30, transparent, and semicolon, and then with a hard. And then if I put that var C and then put black, say, then I can see it. Okay, so 40. And then let's move it with positioning. Hilarious. To -2. -85. And then, oh, it's a little too big, isn't it? 5, 4. Okay, and then this is what, 35? 36, 37, 38. And then let's move these around for 90. Is it 40? Is that too big? I can't quite tell. Yeah, 40 is too big. Is it 38? Oh, it's so close. I'm gonna change this color to be the blue. So is it 39? And then this is 86. Oh boy. 37, 38.5, 39.5. Wow, this is bad. 37. I can't tell what the size of that is. It seems like a very straightforward circle, but it's not. Something about how I'm doing it is wrong for sure. 5, 7, 8. Okay, and then 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. Ah. 0.5. 41. 40.5. 39.5? No. 41.5. Ugh. Okay. I don't know what's weird about this, but this is definitely giving me bad feeling about how to accomplish this. So if we're going to be doing all this, let's go with something that's a little more rational, and let's just work on the body itself. And we're going to do background, and we're going to do one thing at a time. And let's do that radial gradient, circle, and that color, and then blue. And I think it's 40 pixels, but is it? And then down 20 pixels, 30, 40, 50, 30, 38, 39, 40. So again, our alignment is just wrong. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this slightly bigger and just try to center it. Okay? So this is the shape that we're making. But I would just like to align that perfectly. 85, 86, 87. And then maybe it's lower. 91, 88. And then 36, 37. How about 38? 37. No. Big problems. Because I just don't know what the sizes are of that, and that's not good. So let's go blank template again, and I'm gonna make these elements. I'm gonna turn this into a flex situation. Let's see how far we get with that. So we're gonna do display flex. I'm going to do height, width, and what are we saying? Is it like 80? 80. Border radius of 50%. Okay. And we're going to say that's the circle for C. P. So we do P, P, C. And another circle, and then P. Okay, and we're gonna have some gap, 10 pixels. And P itself, we're gonna say is got the same background, width of 100, height of 30. We're gonna wrap, I need a colon there, flex wrap, wrap. Okay, where are we going with this? So taller, 50, 60, 70, 80. Oh, it's gonna have the same height. They have the same height, don't they? Yeah, so that's good for us. Let's use margins to push those down. 54, and then a little more margin here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75. Okay. Then this width is more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 65, let's say. There we go. And then this height is 75. Okay. And that's wrapping. Let's put a gap of 0 there. See what we get. Okay. So let's try a gap of 1 pixel. 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. I guess what this means is that 75 works on the left side, but not the right side. So we're going to do 54, 0, 0, 75. And then in theory, 8, 9. Are those not circles? Or is that 75? Okay. And then, so this is 10. Okay. All right. Yeah. Get down and yeah, this is a definitely a party. So then what? What it makes me, so if we remove these, what does that get me? Can I do this as box shadows? I guess is really my question. I got to do something. And how about a flex wrap of 0, and then flex align items start, flex basis 1. No, what do I want here? I don't want that. I don't believe I want that. I'm gonna add a T for a transform, and I'm gonna I don't like this partly, but it is gonna spur me to look deeper at how to modify flex contexts that are stretching things in ways that I don't seem to have control over. So I'm going to translate y minus 10 pixels. Oh, it's translate 0 minus 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, so that gets me that, or almost 41. 38 pixels. Okay, so that puts them exactly where I want, and so that's in theory the hard part. Can I get away with this? Okay, so if I remove that gap, things stuck together, and that's no good. I think I do leave the 0, 10 pixels, even though, no, I'm gonna get rid of that, and then I'm gonna change this number. Oh, is this the default margins? Maybe this is the default margin from 10. So yeah, I think we're overcoming the default margin, 42, 43. So there are, yeah, default margins on a paragraph tag, and that I think is probably the reason that I have to do that hackery. But that's fine. All right, and I'm feeling kind of obstinate. So I'm going to do this background as a linear gradient. A single linear gradient that's constrained it starts at 0 on the x-axis and then down some amount on the y-axis. It's got a width of, let's call it 80%, and a height of 200 pixels. And then it repeats y. No, it repeats on the x-axis only. Okay, so let's do that linear gradient, which is transparent 30 pixels, blue 0, 40 pixels, no, probably 50 pixels, transparent, another 70 pixels, and then blue again, 0, 200 pixels, let's say. This is all wrong. Oh, and it's coming in at 90 degrees, 90 degrees. And then transparent again, and then blue again. Transparent for a small amount, 200, so 0. And I'm just making these numbers up. I will have to change them, and then finally a last blue. So that's that's my approximate, which is wrong. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then the height needs to be what, 180? All right. And I'm going to not do that as we'll do it at 400. We're just going to do each color stop. So if we do 400, then we're assured we're going to hit a point where we can adjust the width. But okay, so 25, 35, great. How about 40, 45, 55, 55 is right, 75, 65, okay, great. Okay, so this number is too small, 300, 30, 40, okay, so 3, 40, 25, 35, okay, and then we're going to adjust this number, 360, $370, and maybe that's it. Nope, not quite. 365. All right, woo! Let's submit that. I don't know how I did this before. I don't really want to look. It's a complicated shape. You could use, oh, what is happening there? Oh, because, I have white on the background. You see that it's a very, very pale blue, but it's hard to see. So this needs to have a backup color. And the reason I got 46% is because most of the white isn't white. In fact, none of what I think is white, and so I was giving it white. So there's 100% match. Well, oh boy. So minify and unit replace, and that is the solution to that one. Complicated, seemingly simple, and yet far more going on than I realized. Also, that explains when I was doing a radius for those circles, it was 37.5 pixels, right? That was actually the correct radius. Had I done that, I think I probably could have continued how I was, but not realizing, I just wasn't believing that those circles could be 75 across. I suppose I could have, measured it, but I'm not, the precision here is, am I right at the edge? I guess that's 76, but when you have numbers that are 54 or 38, maybe it's not. But yes, in retrospect, yes, I missed that. But a fun solution. Okay, All right, what next? What's the way to do this? I kind of let's do border of, what is it, 20 pixels solid, and then the dark color. I'm doing that inner shape. Maybe it's 30. And then we got this color in the middle. Or actually even better, we do that and that. All right. With margins 4, 5. And less height 6. All right, let's push this into place. Top margin 8, 9, 100. Side margins 8, 9, 100. So we only need one number for margin. Great. And that is what? 4. Okay. Part 1. That's part 1. So how do we do those squares? We have several choices, probably. Today I'm going to say here's what I'm going to do today. Today it's a conic gradient. And actually, dare we do the repeating conic gradient, where we do 2 color stops. Or 90 degree, 0. Yeah, so that's a repeating conic gradient. Not something I do very often. And then let's put it, we know it's over. Do we think it's over 100 pixels? Yes. And it's at 0. It's got a, whatever width it's got. What has it got? It's got a 50% width and 100% height. And so no repeat Y. And that is definitely a way to do that. Again, not a technique I usually use, but a fun trick. So this is a repeating conic gradient. It's going to repeat these color stops up until 100% or 360 degrees. This could also be 90 degrees and 180 degrees. But we use percentages because it's a little simpler. All right, that's fun. Now, do I need? I don't need a second background position there. Now I can't remove this background, otherwise that's going to show through. That is a super fun way to approach that. So let's submit and make sure that we're 100%, because we may not be, but I think we are, and that's great. That's a fun one. All right, what do we got next? So this guy, I think we don't need. I think we have 2 gradients. The first is a linear gradient, that's the white over top, and then the second is a conic gradient. So let's start with the bottom first. Conic gradient, which is this lighter orange 75% around, to the darker orange 0, and it's in the upper corner. It's got a width and a height. And I'm going to set a no repeat just so I can make sure that I align this properly. Okay, so 220, 225, taller, 200. There it is. And then we do an at 120 pixels, 80 pixels, 40, 50, 60, 75, and then down 90, 100, and then we let it repeat. So that's the kind of gradient for the oranges. And then a linear gradient which we're going to fill in. If we're lucky, something like 40% will align correctly. And of course, we're not that lucky. 1, 2, maybe try Q value there. 80 Q, 100 Q, 130 Q. How about just 100 pixels? 120 pixels. 125 pixels. There we go. And then 175 maybe. And that's our solve. That's our solution, I think. And yeah, that's not bad. So two gradients, and we don't need that paragraph element. We can minify. We can unit replace. We can't remove any of the pieces here that I can think of. We probably can remove a color stop if we make the height 175 pixels. If we put it at 0, 0, 1%, 175 pixels. Is that shorter? I don't think it's much shorter. I don't think it's shorter at all. But it is another solution. Are there other optimizations we can make here? None that I see right off. There may be. There are different ways to do many of these things, adjusting margins and other elements. But that's a good set there. Here this fine morning. So that's the 17th, 18th, and 19th of June, 2024. Continuing on these older CSS Battle daily targets, which are super fun. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you make a webpage today. I hope you have some fun and take care of yourselves, because it is definitely rough out there. All right, bye-bye.